Today we're going to talk about hand gestures. When to make them, what they mean, and how to use them. But first, be careful. You don't want to use the peace sign in the UK, because while it means peace in the United States, in the UK, it means up yours. And you don't want to use okay in France, because while it means okay in the United States, it means you're worthless in France. So keep watching this video and I'll break it all down. I'm Halpern and you're watching Planet Derek, the place where business owners and entrepreneurs go to learn how to get ahead in business and life. And today we're talking about hand gestures. First, as you know, when people talk with their hands, it makes them more engaging. It makes them more interesting. Whether you're filming content for a YouTube video like this one, or if you're trying to have a conversation in the real world, hand gestures allow you to communicate your point, grab attention, and it also allows you to create a much more dynamic message. Like this, for example. Imagine if I'm just sitting here, just like this. Hey, what's up? I'm Halpern. You're watching me on Social Triggers. And today I'm going to teach you how to use your hand gesture. It's very boring. It looks very stiff. You don't look very open. It makes you seem less animated and actually kind of boring. So when you're not moving your arms or your hands, it makes you appear rigid and it becomes uncomfortable to watch. Right now, you might feel a little weird watching me with my arms plastered to the side. It's kind of weird, right? Hand gestures, on the other hand, allow you to engage people in a different way. So keeping that in mind, I want to walk you through some of my favorite hand gestures, what they mean, and when to use them. As I said, there are 10 of them. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to use all 10 of them the next time you talk to someone. Don't try to do that. The reason why I'm creating this video is to show you that there are options. Most people tend to have just one hand gesture that they use over and over again, and that is just as weird as someone standing there like this. So let's jump right in. The first hand gesture I want to share is the act of counting, just like this. This is an important hand gesture to get used to because if you're about to make multiple points, counting allows the viewer and the person listening to follow along. This is actually a really good trick to use in media. For example, if you're ever being interviewed, you'll notice that sometimes the interviewer likes to cut off the speaker. This is not that uncommon, especially in TV, because they don't want you going off the deep end. So one of the ways to take control of the conversation is to simply say something like, I've got 3 things to share with you. At this moment, you just grabbed their attention. They can't really cut you off unless you say all 3 things. So this is one of the reasons why I love the number count, because it helps you to take control of the conversation, even if for a little bit of time, and it allows you to count off all the numbers so you can finish your full point. The second hand gesture I want to talk about is the karate chop. Well, not like that, but generally, the karate chop, which is just like this, it means you're saying something with force. It means you're demanding something. It means you're trying to make a strong point. It means that there's no real room for opportunity. Like today, I'm going to show you how to do this the right way. It just communicates power and strength. Now, this is an aggressive hand gesture, and I don't necessarily recommend you use that on your spouse or a friend. You tend to use it when you're having an argument or if you're on a stage and you're trying to really communicate something strong with force. The next one, the back of the hand slap. Now, I know I just over-exaggerated that hand gesture, but generally, when you're going like this, it means listen up, I'm about to say something important. Again, it's a little bit more aggressive and maybe shouldn't be used in polite conversation. However, if you're in a passionate debate about something, it might be an opportunity like, this is the way it's gonna be. Again, aggressive, but it's also good to know that you can use this to make a strong point on camera. It also allows you to differentiate from the I hate those people. Let's go to the next one. This is less a hand gesture and more a hand movement. This is what you want to use when you want to compare something, like this or that. Essentially, it's like moving a ball between your hands, like this, that, big, small. It allows you to communicate that there are options, like option 1, option 2. It allows people to follow along as you're trying to communicate some options. Now, one of the ways that I tend to use this is, even at the start of this video, I use that to compare two things. Okay in America means okay. Okay in France means you're worthless. Another hand gesture you can use is the fist pump. Not the fist pump, which is like Jersey Shore dance styles, more like just the fist pump. This means you're excited about something. It means you just had something to celebrate. More like, hey, if you've been watching my videos, you'll see that we just hit 4 million views. Again, it's meant to communicate excitement. So that's what I'm doing. 4 million views. Yes! Maybe don't make that face because it communicates anger at that point. But yes, it's a little bit different. This next hand expression is known as rubbing your hands together. I like to call it money hands. I have a friend, Devin, where every time he's about to do something that's going to make him money, he's always like, it usually communicates anticipation for something good. So if you're ever trying to say, look, I've got some tips for you that are going to be good. You're going to love it. It just helps you communicate this idea. Now, this is an important hand expression and gesture to use if you live in New York, New Jersey, or pretty much anywhere in the Northeast. It's like, get at me, bro. Again, I don't think you're going to be using this in polite conversation. However, you could use an expression like that if you want to assume a character. For example, maybe you're talking about an argument you had with someone and someone said something mean and you're like, again, you might not actually do it, but it helps you communicate a different presence on camera to make your message more entertaining. Now, I know this is a lot, so stop. That's the next hand gesture. If you ever want someone to take a stop is a way to do it. Now, this is a common one. You might be wondering how to use it in a video or in a conversation, at which point you could be like, you might think you need to do this, but stop. Here's what you need to do instead. And as you can see, I use this or that and stop. Like, you might think you need to do this, stop, that. You can mix these hand gestures just like that. This next hand gesture is a fun one. It's the shrug. If you pair it with a facial expression, it could really show confusion. I don't know. Again, this is something that you'll do if you're trying to tell a story about a time when you were confused. Or maybe if you're trying to, again, assume another character for your video where a simple hand gesture shrug can help you present a different type of communication style. This next hand gesture is the finger pointing up. This helps you communicate that you have an idea, like, I've got an idea. When would you use this? You would try to use this hand gesture when you're telling a story and the person in the story gets an aha moment of some kind. This, as an example, let's say you're filming a sales video and you're talking about your struggle until you finally encounter the solution where you're like, oh, I know. That's how you would use that, again, in a sales video. But you could also use it in regular conversation where you could talk about your confusion and then accent the confusion with an aha moment before you start talking about the solution. This act of accentuating the aha moment will make people pay attention to what's about to come. I've always told people that people don't know how good something is until you first show them how bad it could be. You could use the aha moment in between the good and the bad. Now, this hand expression, the brain tap, it communicates it's time to think, it's time to memorize what I'm about to say, it's time to use your head. This is important to do when you're trying to communicate to someone that it's going to be a thinking problem or something they need to memorize. Like this expression right now, I want you to memorize what I'm talking about. This next hand slap communicates feeling. It means that you understand what someone's talking about. It allows you to connect on a more empathetic level. It's when you put your hand on your heart, like, I understand. This is something that you would do if you're trying to communicate, again, empathy, compassion, things that I don't really have an ounce of in my body, so I don't ever really use this expression, but I'm letting you know that it exists. Now, this video would not be complete if I didn't talk about the steeple. The steeple usually communicates I've got it under control. I'm in control. I'm in charge. Listen to me. I understand everything. This is a very confident pose to make. The problem is is that a lot of people know about it, and I believe it's one of the most overused hand expressions. And to me, every time I see it, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Apparently, I'm not here to teach you enunciation tactics. I'm here to teach you hand expressions. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, this means okay. It means everything's going to be a-okay. But you have to be careful with an expression like that because, like I said, if you do this in like Belgium or France, it means you're telling someone they're worthless. Can you imagine? Someone says, hey, what do you think of this idea? And you're like, and then you're just like, you're worthless? I mean, I don't think you want to fight a French person, right? So don't do it. Now, this hand expression is a good one. Air quotes. This is something that you can use when you want to be sarcastic. It's something when you want to make fun of someone. If you want to make an idea seem stupid, just throw some air quotes. You compare air quotes with a funny facial expression to make it even more interesting. Like, now this is an expression that I got accustomed to very early in my life. It's like, wasn't me. This usually means when you want a hands-off approach. It's not your fault, it's someone else's fault, something else happened. It's like, oh, I can't believe that this guy tripped up. I didn't trip him. All right, today I was talking to you about hand gestures, and as I said in the beginning of the video, there were gonna be 10 of them, but apparently I can't count, and there was like 47 of them. I hope you can use one of these in your speaking, your videos, your content. Do me a favor though. Which one do you see yourself using the most? Leave a comment below this video. Tell me why. Next, if you're new here, like my video. If you're not new here, like my video. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel and hit that notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next video.